So let's talk about some fucking asshole who, I don't know, somehow he was connected to my father. I thought she's a normal person. Evidently, she's not a normal person. She's working with probably multiple security agencies. And this fucking asshole has been... Let's talk about the first time I contacted her and what was it about. I thought, okay, maybe I'm going to be killed, so let's have someone who has the writings I've written, okay? I contacted her. I tried to explain to her that this is what I want, but she went on and on and on about all sorts of terrorist attacks by lone actors, etc., etc. And then at the end that, oh, because you have stayed in my house, I will feel unsafe because then Germany is going to come and say to me, why did you keep this man in your house now that he's committed a terrorist attack, you know? And I was like, okay, you don't want to have my writings, fine. But then the things continued and continued and continued. She insisted that I am under stress and that I don't understand what I'm doing, etc., etc. I was like, okay, let's have her. Maybe she can be some external point of view, okay? Because she has a PhD in architecture, or she was taking a PhD. I'm not sure if she ever finished it or not. And I was like, let's see what happens, you know, let's see what is really behind this, because I was not really a little curiosity, a little like maybe she's just having a difficult time wrapping her head around things. But then I asked her, you know, because she was telling me, oh, she has a brother and his brother is working on international immigration, etc. That person might know a lawyer, you know. Now, I think maybe 6 months later, I sent her a message, hey, do you know the lawyer maybe? And she has sent me message over message over message telling me nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. The fucking asshole never once answers my question, you know. I asked her, hey, can you keep my writings? She, the same as Shirin Malaki and her husband, Mohammed, who is Amir Hussein Farzad. Like, I contacted also them and asked them, hey, could you keep my writing, you know? And I was trying to tell them the stuff without telling the political stuff, because they said, okay, they were in the United States, they were like, oh, if you tell us political stuff, you are going to be in danger because Trump is president. At that point, he was not the president, but like, it was obvious he was going to be president from my point of view. So I was like, okay, maybe there's a point there. But then they continued going on. Like, I thought they are as smart because we were part of the same school. I was like, okay, these people maybe understand what I'm trying to tell them, even though I'm not talking about politics. But they acted like, oh, you are going crazy, you don't understand. And I was like, babe, you told me not to talk about politics. Now you're telling me that, oh, but these are not political stuff. Why are you talking about them? Because you asked me not to talk about politics, you motherfucker. It is very funny. Situations like this are very funny, I think, unless you are part of it, which is me. And this fucking asshole has been going on and on and on about, no, you have to try, you have to go back, you have to... I was like, brother, like, not brother, I was like, fucking, I didn't tell to her fucking asshole, but I was like, woman, I asked a woman to marry me because she was from an island and we were friends, and I was like, okay, she's a safe choice. Let me marry her, go to that island, I live there, and let's see what happens. And this fucking asshole called me, talked to me about an hour, gave me poetry from Iran, gave me something with X, Y, and Z, you know, because apparently this is some code word that I don't understand, you know. I don't really understand what this X, Y, and Z people are going on about. For me, it was like, hey, I write a lot of writings, I did a lot of mathematics, like X, Y, and Z comes naturally to me as a placeholder for unknown, you know, things that are not known, and things can be variable, you know, depending on some function, you know, it's a little complicated, but let's say, okay, depending on some state of the function at a certain point in time, okay? But this fucking asshole is doing all this. I don't know where she was getting it from, Iran or from the United States. And this is one of those things that I've been trying to do. I've been trying to untangle Iran security service from US and and Israel, because I don't know, somehow I got involved, and this seems to be necessary for me to make the right choices. Though at this moment I'm not really sure there is any much right choices for me. Everything ends up in debt, but less choice said that at least hopefully I understand. I don't know, a little understanding is maybe better than less understanding, if the Lord will. And yeah, I mean, scientists have to understand, you cannot stop yourself from trying to understand and trying to do experiment on people. And she was part of that experiment, whether she knew it or not. She chose to use herself as, I don't know, at first I thought, okay, maybe United States has developed some secret weapon that they can drug someone, and that person is going to, here you do this and this and this, and they are going to do it, Like this woman was telling me in detail how to commit terrorist attack, random terrorist attack. I thought, I really thought, okay, United States has certainly, or maybe Israel, I don't know, or some organization like that, has certainly developed some chemicals that if you give to someone, they are going to act out that way when they hear something, something like the Imperious Curse, But somehow I didn't do those things. So maybe the drug is not working properly, or maybe she was not part of the US Secret Service. Both could be. And yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting development. And I have no fucking idea what this fucking asshole is doing. But this fucking asshole has been lying again and again and again and again, Like the problem with the spies is that you cannot have a conversation with them, because in the next sentence they are lying about the previous sentence, This fucking asshole, I posted something on TikTok. TikTok removed it. That's why I'm doing this video talk. Because this fucking asshole has been telling me, oh, you have to go and do a simple job. And I was like, hey, motherfucker, I called you 4 months ago, and I was like, my dream is to go to a small country, remote from the world, and do a simple thing, and have a simple wife, etc., etc. And this fucking asshole is coming back to me after hours of talking that, no, you should not do this. You should go back. You should try to find a job in Europe. You should go back to Germany. You should go back to France, etc., etc. Call this person, your father knew this person. Call this person, your father knew that person. Call that person. And it was very interesting that she knew exactly certain connection of my father, And I was wondering, maybe she's part of the German Secret Service, and that's why then she knows them. Because it's very bizarre that my father has such a relationship with this fucking asshole, and this fucking asshole have remembered all his connection that I know about, So it all felt very bizarre, And I kind of doubt that, United States is so brazen in contacting this woman with all this kind of information, I think Iran's Secret Service is quite dumb enough to do that, but I don't think US Secret Service is dumb enough to do that. Hey, let's tell this person that his father has this connection that he knows about, and he should contact that person, But anyway, I contacted those people, and those people turned out to be equally spies who were, one of them trying to send me back to Iran, one of them is trying to do some strange things that I didn't really understood what he was doing. Anyway, none of this really matters, I think, because I don't really understand what they were trying to do, who they were connected with, why. Really sad. Really terrible situation to be stuck in, at least on my end of it. But yeah, let's put it in the evidence that we found another spy, but we are not really sure which connection she has, And I kind of think most of the spies are working for multiple countries, because, if you are in a certain country, they are probably watching everything you are doing, So that country is going to come to you and tell you, hey, either you work with us or you're going to go to jail as a spy. And I think that's probably the natural course of the thing, because the technology works that way. So, yeah, it's really surprising for me that, especially in the Middle East, people are convinced that they have a spies out there, but I don't know, maybe they have. They must be very dumb to think that way, but I don't know. I have found so many dumb people in in this period that maybe they think that way, Maybe that's why the Middle East is slightly the way it is also. Anyway, let's not talk about the Middle East. Let's talk about what angered me. This fucking idiot is saying that, oh, I'm not going to help you anymore. And I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you did nothing for me. You just kept an hour-long conversation about all sorts of terrorist attack in Germany, which I had no news about. I didn't care about. It's none of my business. The first time I talked to her. The second time she talked about, no, you should go back to Germany, you should go back to France, call this person, call that person. You should never give up, this fucking asshole. And now this third time she's saying, oh no, I don't know what you are saying. You are saying fantasy. This doesn't make sense. Go back to work. You don't have any contract. I don't know what this fucking asshole getting these words from, but it is very interesting. Anyways, I wish all these fucking assholes like her the death, not personally going to kill them, in the sense that I wish their death leads them to the hell, because I believe that's where they belong, I think if you are manipulating people into doing things that they don't want to do, like terrorist attack, the first time she was doing, the second time she was doing, let's go back to Europe, which I don't know why, contact this person, that person, which again, I don't know why. And then the third time, or better said, I still haven't had a guess about why. The third time she's doing, what is it called? I'm not really sure what is it called, She's telling the things that I told her that, no, these were my advices to you. You didn't listen to them. And I'm like, hey, fucking asshole, those were my words, You never gave me those advices. You tell me to do the opposite, And this fucking asshole is like, oh, but I thought you are such a Muslim. I was trying to stop you from doing a terrorist attack. And I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I am one of those Muslims who think people who commit terrorist attacks are not Muslims, because that's even below humanity, You don't need to read the Quran to understand you shouldn't kill people randomly. You can just be a human and not kill people randomly, So like this motherfucker is probably paid from Israel to promote this idea that Islam equals terrorism. Or unless maybe this is a scheme from Iran's secret service. I'm telling you, Iran's secret service has turned out to be dumber and dumber and dumber than I ever thought, Dumber and dumber and dumber than I ever thought. Anyways, some secret service believe that it is Islam equal terrorism, and that's the mentality we want to promote. She seems to be one of the advocates for it. I strongly oppose it. Not only oppose it, I think humanity is against terrorism, regardless of which religion you are. And then when you add the religion to it, then you are even stronger opposed to terrorism, So I think people like her are trying to promote war and violence, And I think they are going to do something to me, but I'm still not sure how it is going to end, That's one of those things that we have to give the time to reveal itself, But yeah. Anyways, if there are people out there who think humanity means humanity, that Quran means a religious scripture, it suggests doing good things, not doing senseless things, that assholes like her are on their own, they are fucking spies who want to commit war and then make a lot of money, because the more there is conflict, the more spies are in, demand, I think. And the more tension and misunderstanding it is, the more spies are in demand, unfortunately. And she seems to be one of the people who are benefiting from it, alongside the other people she told me to contact, which turned out to be making various French suggestions that didn't make sense to me. I don't know, man. Well, we wish everyone who suggests people or encourages people or manipulates people to be in desperate situations, to do things that are harmful to others or to themselves, the hell. in the sense that they commit more crimes, so that hell becomes real for them. Yes, that's a very strange prayer, but this is a prayer. This is exactly one of those reasons why terrorism doesn't make sense, because if there is a terrible person and you want them to go to hell, you let them live a long life so they can commit more crimes, so they can actually go to a deeper place in hell, This is one of those counterintuitive things. If you actually believe in religion, becomes very intuitive, And we wish the rest of us, if we are that alone, well, let's hope. I don't know. I was thinking, okay, maybe one of these security agencies is going to be, hey, let's help you be in a remote island and die peacefully there. But nobody wants it. Everybody wants to make a scheme out of me. So let's hope the Lord, if it is a time for me to go away, let's hope the Lord find a way for me to leave these fucking assholes, if we have no friends and no support and no nothing else, if we have something, let's hope the Lord helps us. Let's hope the Lord helps us to help each other, find each other, support each other. And I don't know what we can do with people like this, because they seem to be all over the place, and I don't know. Every place I tried, there seems to be someone spying there, or someone connected to a security agency there. But if I am wrong and they are not as powerful as they make themselves appear to me, let's hope the Lord helps me, well, find some way, I don't know. And especially people who would support us, would love us, etc., for them to find a way, because I think they're going to kill me anyway, so I'm not really that positive about how long I'm going to live, or how long I'm going to live. I'm thinking they are still not. I don't think they're ever going to give up on making something horrible out of me. But let's see what's next, and what next after next, and may the Lord protect us from all the rest of their plans and how their schemes work against them.